Let's see, Great Polo. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Make sure you hit that like button. Mm. Be on real quick, real quick, real quick. hmm What's up? What's up? What's up? Morning, 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 morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Caught y'all off guard, didn't I? Caught y'all off guard on the route. Tap back in later. Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Michael Manuel, what up? Mm. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Come on in. Come on in. Just gonna holler real quick, real brief. I'm probably gonna do a few streams today. I don't think I'm gonna leave the house today. Um, it's a real important day. Uh, if you know, you know. I need to pay attention to some things today, so I'll probably be in the house today. I wasn't gonna do a call-in show, but I might do it early today. I might just get on like around noon and get it out the way since I'm gonna be in the crib. So, what's going on? Trying to get it before market close today. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. A lot of people yesterday uh, got scared last night when that war kind of kicked off again. Um, and it's like I always say, you know, people that scared, they always gonna end up doing the thing that hurts them in the long run, and it's gonna be a guy like me um, that's gonna be there to scoop all that shit up. And then here we are, less than 24 hours later, and we green. So I appreciate everybody last night that when those bombs attacked, when they dropped them bombs or whatever that shit happened, and people who, you know, living above their means had to go out and do the thing that wasn't best for them and sell their assets for dirt cheap. A guy like me scooped them up, and here we are, less than 24 hours later, in the green. It's just like I said on the live stream last night. Um, Fear, uncertainty, and doubt leads people to do things that's not best for them. And we back up this morning. So what's going on? What's going on? Shout out to Kelvin Birch. But this morning, I just want to talk briefly about uh, the young world. That's why I titled it the box truck business, Hey Young World. Because I think the youth is being misled in all categories. But I'm gonna speak pertaining to the lane in which I create content in. Um, and I'll just stick with that. So come on in, make sure you guys hit that like button. We're gonna do it vertical today because I feel like this is the way that the youth consumes their information, whether it's for education or entertainment on YouTube. They just flicking through channels in a vertical format. So I feel like this is the best way to get to them. Come on in, come on in. If there's some moderators in here, make sure y'all keep your eyes open because this format seems to attract a lot of trolls as they are flicking through the channels with the purpose of doing just that. So look, this whole, you know, work-life balance thing, this is something I come across a lot when I'm doing the live streams, the call-in show live streams, when I just hear people talking. When I'm surfing through other channels, You know, when they're talking about career paths and entrepreneurships, and if it's a channel or a platform that's curated by a younger individual, you know, and we talked about it before, but I'm gonna keep it brief and specific. This whole generational wealth, this whole you know, multiple streams of income, this whole, you know, I even see older content creators pushing this, you don't have to work, and who wants to work, and you know, you can, you know, if one thing's not working for you, why would you go get another one? If one job ain't cutting it, why would you go get a second job? It's bullshit. All right. Like, none of these people understand economics. They don't understand inflation. They don't understand none of this shit. All right. Because if they could, they would teach it to you. All right. Here's the thing, if you're a content creator and people are coming to you to consume information, right? Wouldn't it be wise to give them all the information they need? The smarter you are, the better it is for you for a content creator, because they coming to you to consume information. Wouldn't you want to be smart? So when I hear people say dumb shit, I speak on it. Listen, getting a second job is what, if it's what's necessary for you to do it. Don't listen to what people say. All right. If you're young and you're in your 20s and you want to make money, you're gonna have to work. Like, listen, think about it like this. You in a cesspool of competition, right? You in a cesspool of competition. And your competition is your peers, people in your age category. Now, if I was Generation Z and I was in my early to mid 20s, and I see that nobody in my cesspool of competition, my peers, my generation, don't want to work and they lazy, wouldn't it be wise for me to get out here and work so that when they turn 30, when my generation starts turning 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, and they finally realize, listen, I'm in my 30s, I'm fucking 8 years to 40, I gotta get out here and figure something out. Now, your competition is gonna be more increased, right? Because now all y'all coming into reality at the same time. If you're 22, 23, 24 now, and you work really, 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 really hard now, by the time you get 32, 33, 34, 35, when the rest of your generation catches up mentally, you'll be way ahead of them. These are gonna be the people that's gonna come work for you. So if you wait with the rest of them till you mentally mature, now all y'all in competition to go work for somebody else. When you mentally mature with the rest of your generation, you're gonna be in that same cesspool of competition to go find employment with somebody else. Does that make sense? All y'all chasing the same shit. The individuals who are in their 20s now, they're thinking outside of the box, that are utilizing their youth, that's putting the time in to do the work. You're going to be the leaders 10 years from now. And that cesspool of competition, you're not going to have to compete with it. Why? My generation, hopefully they be retired. But from what I'm reading, a lot of people in my generation, a lot of latter Generation X, a lot of early millennials, they're not going to be able to retire. I read an article the other day that retirement is looking further and further and further away for older millennials and late Generation X. Why? Because they're spending the money to fund their Generation Z kids' lifestyle. They're paying their rent, they're paying their car note, they're bailing them in and out of trouble because they're going out working, but they're utilizing their money to do dumb shit with. The last few years in moving, a lot of the people that we moved that were in the younger generation, the parents were paying for the move, the parents were paying the rent. I was on the truck 2020, 2021, 2022. I met a lot of these people's parents. I saw the grief in a lot of these parents' faces when they had to fork over $1,800, $1,500 to pay for a move. And within that 4 or 5 or 6 or however many hours you spend with that parent moving their kid in and out, they start to talk to you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Junior here, he just moved here, he's got a job, and it's really expensive, and I'm paying for the move, I'm paying the rent. Yeah, a lot of these generations, these the ones that do work. Let's speak to the ones that do actually go out and get a job, whether they got a job or they went to college and they're in a career, they're working for companies like Citadel, they may be working for Deloitte, uh, they may be working for corporate in the banking industry. They may be working in sales. They may be in medical sales, things of that nature. One thing I learned about this generation, the ones that do work, the ones that went to school, that are following, a career path and whatever they went to school for. They want to live, work, and play in the same area, right? They want to live in the most affluent areas, primarily in a lot of the major cities, downtown New York, Manhattan, downtown LA, downtown Chicago. Obviously, these are the areas they want to play. These areas provide the best of the best restaurants, bars, nightclub, social settings. And then they work, obviously, because this is where all those corporate entities are placed at, right? But in order to be able to live in an environment of such, it costs money. And a lot of these early, graduates can't really afford to live, work, and play in the same area, but they want to, right? So then this forces the parents to have to supplement that lifestyle some such, right? And it's normally with the essentials, the rent, help with groceries, help with car note, help with insurance. So where does the person who's going out working for Deloitte, working for BMO corporate, working in corporate healthcare sales, working for Citadel, working for I'm just trying to think of some big national corporate companies, Boeing, corporate, stuff like that. Where's that money going? It's going on lifestyle. Now, this is where late Generation X, early millennial, why retirement is looking further and further and further and further away, because they're spending excess money that they could be saving, funding their kids' lifestyle. So if I was Generation Z, listening to everything that you're listening to, if you're listening to the right people, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're consuming the right information, listen, you could consume whatever type of information you want, but it's up to you to go back to the drawing board, take all the information that you consume and put it into perspective and come up with your own conclusion. What sounds right and what sounds like cap? All right. You watch the news, you may not understand, but you keep hearing about this word inflation. Go look up what inflation means. You may not pay for groceries, you may not pay for certain things because your parents are funding this lifestyle. See, here's the thing. The bullshit that these content creators and a lot of these people that's trying to sell you something on the internet, they want your money. So they're gonna promote a certain type of lifestyle so that you can get excited so that they can get your chop. And if you don't understand what chop is, that's another word for bread. And if you don't understand what bread is, it's just another word for money. They want to promote something to you that seems too good to be true so that you can buy into whatever it is they selling. That's their hustle. And then you go buy into it. Then when you get out here in the real world, you see it's something totally different. See, when you ain't never had to pay mortgage, fuck mortgage. Just rent. Let's say rent. If you ain't never had to pay rent and everything that's associated with living on your own, you ain't gonna know what it's really like. See, a lot of people hear this box truck shit and they want to get into it, but it's like me, I'm the only one that's telling you this shit ain't what it used to be. The cost of living, what you can earn in a box truck depending on where you're at in life, when you get into it, it may not be enough to cover your current cost of living, depending on where you're at in your life. I say it all the time. Where I'm at in life, if I were to start a box truck business right now, it would not cover my costs, my expenses, my living expenses. The living expenses that I've gotten to in life and I'm accustomed to, it wouldn't cover it. So I don't understand why you young people, you get off thinking, and if the shit don't pertain to you, then, don't pay it no mind. But the ones that think they can get out here, go get a truck and put a person in it, and they gonna sit back at the crib at 9:30 in the morning like it is right now, and the truck out making money, how much money do you really think you're gonna make? You ain't gonna make shit. You're gonna be operating in the red. You ain't gonna be able to keep a driver, because with the current cost of inflation outpacing the wage growth, you're gonna have to pay handsomely. And if you get a person, you put him in there, it's only gonna be it's not gonna be long, I should say, before they come to you and say, yo, this ain't enough. And then either you gonna give in to their demands and give them more, which is going to take more from your bottom line, which your bottom line, the money you making probably ain't shit. You probably scraping the floor at that point anyway. Or you gonna let them go thinking you're gonna find someone else, and then that truck gonna be sitting, and if the wheels ain't turning, you're not making no money. This has turned into a do-it-yourself industry, especially with one truck. Can you scale and ultimately remove yourself from the truck? Yeah, you can. But, that's after you build up your fleet. It may take you 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 trucks to get to that point. But one truck ain't going to do it. I talk to these cats every single week on these call-in shows and don't have no money, thinking you're going to come out here and going to be able to compete. How? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't even have the knowledge to sit up here and be able to give the information to somebody else. So how can you come out here and compete with a person like me? Or people that are in this chat right now that are experienced, or people that are in this chat that's been listening to me for the past 2 years, and I've given them the information so that they can go out here and be successful and compete and can put their foot on your motherfucking neck. You think you gonna come out here and it's gonna be sweet? Nah. It's gonna be a motherfucker like me that's gonna put my foot on your motherfucking neck. Why? Because I come for one reason and one reason only: to get the money. I didn't come for shit else. I don't give a fuck about nothing else but the bread. You know why? Because there's certain things that I want to do and certain things that I like to do. And in order for me able to continue to be able to do the things that I do and live the lifestyle that I live, I got to keep getting that bread. And this is how people think. I got to keep getting that bread. So if I'm bringing my black ass on here week after week telling you this shit as a way to give back to the community in an industry that has done well for me, right? Don't you think you should take heed to the information? I'm not the one selling you anything. I'm not the one that's telling you to tap in. I'm not the one that's telling you to hit the link. I'm not the one that's telling you to buy this, that, and the third. I'm giving you all the information that you need for free. And I'm doing it on my time pro bono. Well, Mark, you on YouTube? Nah, man, dude, if you pay attention to YouTube, I don't make no money. I'm in box fucking trucking. I'm not talking about fucking P. Diddy and Tiffany Henyard. Yeah, those guys is making a bag. I'm talking to a small audience. And when I go live, I'm playing fucking Young Dolph, Money Man, and shit. My shit ain't monetized like that at all. When you hear me playing music and all that shit, that it immediately goes to non-monetization. I'd rather just come into a dope intro. I don't give a fuck about that $6. I'm here to give you the fucking information. I want somebody to come and say, man, Mark, I'm 27, 28, or 30. In 5 years from now, say, man, I started watching you in 2022, 2023. I took all your information, applied. I put my feet on people's necks. I came in the box truck space. I made a lot of money and I transitioned. Now I got trucking. I got a little real estate. I got I got some stocks. I got some cryptos. I listened to you that last bull run of 2024, 2025. I made 6 figures there, man. You really helped me make a lot of money. That's why I do it. And that individual that's listening at 24, 25, 26, 23, that's willing to go out every single day and do what they need to do. So by the time they get 32, 33, 34, when the rest of the people in their generation, their peers decide that they want to fucking grow the fuck up and realize this world ain't what these fucking retards on the internet is promoting it to be so that they can get their money and have to go out and get a job, because at this point, you figure shit is hard now. So what you think is going to be 10 years from now? Listen, I'm 44. I ain't never seen shit get easier. I ain't never seen shit get better. I ain't never seen shit get safer. I've only seen shit get worse and more expensive. I haven't seen crime get better. I haven't seen things get cheaper over time. I've seen things become more expensive. I've seen things get more fucking dangerous. Hit the like button. I had this conversation with a young lady yesterday. I was sitting eating lunch. Sometimes I go sit and eat lunch at the bar. She was on her little lunch break. And we was just talking. They had the fucking shit playing on the screens. You know, they don't have the audio because they playing music, but you can read the caption. And we just started talking about what's going on overseas. And then we started talking about the crime here in Chicago. And I said, man, it's only going to get worse. She said, you think? She said, my husband was saying a thing. Why? I said, man, in 44 years, I ain't never seen shit get better. She said, oh, you're 44, you don't look like it. Why? How do you stay so youthful? Because I don't got no stress. I don't do shit that puts me in a situation where I got to worry about shit. But long story short, I was telling her all my years, I've never seen shit get better. I've only seen shit get worse. I've only seen shit get more expensive. So in 10 years, where the fuck do you think you're going to be at? If you waste another 10 years trying to chase these fucking fake ass dreams that these people is promoting to you, you're going to have to compete with the person in your generation that's listening to Mark, that's going out doing what they need to do now, that you're going to have to work for. You're going to have to work for somebody that's your age, that's doing well, way better than you. And then you're going to have to reflect on the last 10 years of you pussyfooting around doing a bunch of dumbass shit. Or you're going to have to come fall up under an asshole like me. You're going to be my fucking tenant. And I'm not going to want to hear about all that excuses. Listen, in 3 months, don't have my motherfucking rent. The Cook County Sheriff is going to be at your motherfucking door putting your shit on the curb. And because I don't want my shit to look like an eyesore, I'm going to call 1-800-JUNK to get your shit off the fucking curb. You ain't even going to have time to realize that your ass been put out, and you ain't even going to have enough time to come rummage through your shit that's on the curb, because I'm going to have 1-800-JUNK sitting right there to go take your shit to the fucking dump. You're going to be encountered with a bunch of ruthless people, because as time goes on, people get more ruthless, especially when it comes to their money. This world is not kind. It's not nice. It's ruthless. It took me only a few situations in my 20s to realize it. I was naive coming into being my own person, you know, thinking that people were kind. And I realized it wasn't like that. And at this point, I'm still at the crib. I'm at the crib trying to figure things out in life. By the time I got out on my own, I was ruthless. By the time I got into business, I was ruthless. I wasn't ruthless as I am now because getting into trucking took it to a whole nother level. It took it to a whole nother level. Like, that's why I be saying some people out here, y'all middle Americans, especially y'all Generation Z middle Americans, y'all really lost. And then y'all go to these colleges and then you move to these big cities like New York, Chicago, LA, and you get slapped in the fucking face. Because what you are accustomed to, what you were used to, you thought the rest of the world was like that. And then you move to a cold ass city like this in New York or LA, and then you get your motherfucking neck stepped on. Why? Because we was brought up to be ruthless. We was brought up to go out and get it. We don't fall for the okie doke. We don't listen to, we smell bullshit a mile away. I don't understand why, and it shit is crazy to me why. I don't understand when I be listening to some of y'all talk and some of the shit that y'all say, how y'all be believing this shit. How do y'all believe some of the shit that people tell y'all? Hey, moderators, go ahead and start getting ready. Start loading up them clips. I see it coming. Start loading up them clips. I see them coming. Tread light. At one point, you was who you was talking about. No, I wasn't, because I never did what wasn't best for me. So I'm not judgmental. What I'm speaking to the youth, primarily my youth, people in my generation, because guess what? And see, it's always a person who comes in who's doing this shit, who's making these mistakes. So when you have a person that's coming on telling people the right things to do, you take it as judgmental. When I'm speaking about people that are preaching the wrong shit to you. So how is it judgmental? When I'm combating the people that's telling you the wrong shit, that's telling you that life is peaches and cream. Yeah, go get a box truck business. You're gonna make $1 million with one box truck. But I'm judgmental? Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense for me, fam. You're not gonna be able to. One, because you probably really ain't even out here in the real world. So how is it judgmental when I'm telling you the world ain't cut like that? How am I judgmental when I'm telling you 9 times out of 10, if you get into this industry right now, it may not be enough to cover the cost of living? How the fuck is it judgmental? So you got the person that comes on here and tells you the right thing, that goes to war against the people that are telling you the wrong thing, and I'm fucking judgmental? Let people have to learn on their own. I'm sure you don't. So letting people learn on their own is fine. But if I am talking on a live stream, you got 2 options. You could either listen or you can click off. I don't go watch and listen to people that I don't want to watch and listen to. I don't spend time typing words into shit that I disagree with. If it's something I don't disagree with, I flick and go to another station. Nobody's being judgmental. I'm talking to the people that want to listen to me. Just like the person that said the people that's selling people false dreams and they're charging them for it. What? Are you going to telling them, hey, you're misleading people? So why sit up here and take your time to text and type to a person that's telling people the way things really are in my industry so that they can slow down, think about it? You know what? He got a point. I never thought about my cost of living. I have to look to see that after I pay all my business expenses, because I watch the content, I understand this is a small profit margin business. With what I'm able to pay myself, is it going to be enough for me to cover my cost of living? What he's saying is making sense. I know my generation is lazy as all outdoors. So if I get the head start on them, in 10 years, I'll be ahead of the game, and they're gonna be coming to look for me for work. How is that judgmental? The greatest teacher in life is life. Okay, and that's the point. I'm older, so I'm speaking to a younger generation. If I can give them some insight through my trials and tribulations, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So, man, once again, check it out, Charlie. If there's an issue and you don't agree, man, you know, it's a swipe, bro. You can go to another channel. I never told nobody to hit the link or buy something. But if I can prevent one person from making a bad decision, why not do it? Mark, your generation is the reason why we are high. I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that. You know why? Wait, no. You talking about millennials. I'm not a millennial. That ain't my generation. I'm not a millennial, Dun Beezy. I'm Generation X. So it ain't my generation. I'm not a millennial. Be more graceful? Bro, what are you talking about? What are you tweaking on, man? Listen, the way I present my shit is the way I present my shit. I am graceful. See, you must be a middle American. You gotta be a middle American. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and talk to you like I got fucking flowers and lilies stuff behind my ear, bro. Either you're gonna take it how I'm giving it, or you can switch. You know what I'm saying? You can switch, you dig? I'm not finna give you the flowers and the lilies, bruh. Take it. You must be Generation Z that want to get off your ass and go to work. So guess what? If you one of those soft ass type of people and you don't want to get your ass up, and then when you do decide to get out here and you're gonna realize that the world is ruthless, then what? I'm preparing you for what's really out here. You think people not gonna take advantage of you if they find out you lack information and you lack knowledge? Of course they are. People get taken advantage of every single day. You a millennial. You're not the real hustlers. Generation X and boomers is the real hustlers. Y'all started this lazy shit. Y'all started the lazy shit. Not the early millennials, the latter millennials. The tech boom ruined y'all. It ruined y'all. And guess what? You want to talk about it? Okay, bet. Let's talk about it. All those big tech companies used your generation for years and years and years. And with over the past 2 to 3 years, they decided to get rid of y'all ass. So now what? All your big tech companies used y'all for years, built their infrastructure for years, and over the past 2, 3 years, they getting rid of y'all. They still getting rid of y'all. Google just laid off a bunch of people. Tesla just laid off a bunch of people. Tesla is not an auto company; it's a tech company. Facebook laying off people. All these tech companies laying people off. I'm not stuck in the past. I listen to all the latest music. I listen to Money Man, Boss Man, D-Lo. You don't see me riding around here bumping Wu-Tang. I was bumping Wu-Tang in the 90s and Mobb Deep. I wear fucking Stack Denim. I wear Christian Dior. I wear all the latest shit. I'm not stuck in the past. I'm not one of those motherfuckers stuck in the past. I talk all the latest slang. I say on phone them from time to time. I say tweaking. This is why I don't like doing these vertical live streams, because they put it out to just anybody. That's why the youth don't respect. Man, let me pull this dude up, man. Let me see what this fucking goofy look like. They don't gotta respect me. I don't care. See, you speaking from a general perspective. Like, I don't care about that shit, bro. So, but it's been nice conversating with you. We just gonna agree to disagree. But yeah, so boom. So now, since I tore you down, now it's time to build you back up. The beautiful thing about the young generation is y'all have a lot of things that older generations didn't have, right? Especially tech, right? And we didn't have that. The technology wasn't as advanced as it is today, right? Right. So I feel like, listen, if you take a little hard work and you implement it with the technology that's out there and available for you today, you can accelerate your success a lot faster than previous generations could ever do. Let me see. Let me see something. Hold on one second. See, this is one thing about these vertical live streams. They push this shit out to a bunch of fucking goofies. Yeah, so what when you do these vertical streams, it push the shit out to a lot of goofies, and they just not used to one, hearing someone speak from a different perspective than what they're accustomed to seeing on the internet. You know, they get sold a lot of dreams and they believe these dreams because they ain't out here really dealing with this shit and paying real bills. You see what I'm saying? They ain't out here really competing. They out here trying to get rich overnight, right? But on the flip note, for all you goofballs that don't want to listen, check this out, because I don't give a fuck. I'm the type of nigga that's going to tell you like it is. I'm not from middle America. I'm from that shit for real. I'm going to tell you this. Check this out, pimp. Go out there and keep doing the dumb shit. I want you to. See, I understand that if everybody was rich, the economy wouldn't be able to grow. We need rich people. We need poor people. We need haves and we need have-nots, right? It's different levels of rich. It's different levels of poor. To me, I don't think it's no middle class no more. It's either you got it or you don't. And just because you got it may not mean you may not have it like the next person, but you in a situation where you got it in comparison to a person who don't. It's either you the haves or you the have-nots. So because everybody can't be rich, and I understand that, and everybody can't have, we need people to continue to do the shit that's not best for them. We need people to do dumb shit. And people get upset when I say that, but that's just the fact. If people didn't do dumb shit, how can the people that have the knowledge, the information, and are smart acquire their assets for dirt cheap and then sell that shit back to them at an inflated price because they fucking stupid? So continue to go out and do what's not best for you. Continue to go out, not work. Continue to wait for this Hail Mary without having to put in the work to acquire the success that you're looking to have. Continue to go out thinking that you can go start this business and never be there to learn it. You can just go acquire whatever you need to get it started and just hire somebody to run it, and you don't even know how to run this shit yourself, and you think it's just gonna grow and flourish, and you're gonna be successful, and while you're in Hawaii, or you're in San Tropez, or when you're in Santorini, Greece, or when you're in Cabo San Lucas, or when you're in Punta Cana, or when you're in San Tropez, or the Virgin Islands, or Dubai, or fucking Cape Town, or fucking London, wherever you want to go travel, that your business is back over here just doing great, but you don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't even know how to run it because you never stepped foot in it. You got your tax money, or you got some PPP money, and you listen to so-and-so man on the internet told you that if you take this amount of money and you put it into this, it's going to create generational wealth, and you just going to be fucking rich. You go listen to him, because then when you fail, it's going to be a guy like me that's going to come suck all that shit up that you spent excess money for. I'm going to buy it for you from pennies on the dollar, and then I'm going to turn around and profit off of it by selling it to another goofy. Or I'm going to buy your assets. You're going to lose your home because you did the dumbass shit, right? And then I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to put you back in it as a fucking tenant. The object, the purpose of the live stream, tweakers, is to do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. Use your brain. Don't go out here and make bad decisions in life. Use your common sense, because common sense ain't so common no more. People don't use common sense. The purpose of the live is to use common sense. A lot of things would go better if people use common sense. A lot of people out here listening to shit that don't make any sense. How are you going to make $1 million with one box truck? How are you going to create generational wealth with one box truck? The average box truck, on average, $20,000 a month. If you're really, really running, more than 50% of that is going to go to cost. If you're working, let's say, on a 15% margin, 20% margin, which is really high, you still got to pay yourself. You still got to float the business. All right, so you pay yourself $750 a week. That's $3,000 a month. Is that enough to pay rent or a mortgage, utilities? Really, is it? It may be depending on where you're at. If you're a middle American, maybe. But if you live in a major metropolitan city, then the answer is no. The answer is no. But see, when people say tap in, hit the link, buy this course, you're going to make this amount of money, they'll never talk about what you're actually going to earn once you pay all your expenses. So when I say shit that hits people in the heart, oh, it hits you, oh, you get all soft and emotional. You know why? Because you feel it. It's not what you used to hearing. That shit hurt, don't it? That shit hurt. I know it hurt. That's the point. I want it to hurt. I want you to feel upset and mad. I want to challenge you to go out and do what's best for you. And what's best for you is making the right fucking decisions. So get upset. Go cry. Say, man, this nigga on here, this old ass nigga. Hey, check it out. And when you finally do decide to get out there, after you done made all the bad decisions, you know, in your life. And you got to get out there and finally go get it at 30-something, 40-something years old. 10, 15 years from now, it still ain't going to be enough. Why? It goes back to what I said at the beginning. I've never seen shit get better. I've only seen the shit get worse. So the point is, get on your shit, do what you need to do now, stop wasting time, stop wasting thinking shit is gonna change. It's not gonna change. It's only gonna, get worse from this. Everything is gonna continue to go up in cost. Things are gonna get harder. It's not gonna get better. And you gotta work. You wanna sit around the crib and make money not doing shit? It'll come, but you gotta work to get to that point. Kanye shrugged. Get out your feelings, fam. Do what you're supposed to do or don't. It don't make me no difference. No way. Hey, check it out. Either you can listen or you don't gotta listen. But if you don't listen, it's gonna be a nigga like me that's gonna just put my foot on your neck. Or one of these MGM members in here, they're gonna put their foot on your neck. Don't make me no never mind. I don't really care. So it is what it is. Shout out to all the MGM members in the building. Shout out to all the tweakers in the building. Let's see. Hey, Kelvin, if these people in here tweaking, let them tweak. Let them tweak. If they tweak, and let them tweak. You know why? Because the message is hitting them. When people tweak like that, not the trolls, but the people who combating the message, is because the message is hitting them in a certain type of way because they guilty. They guilty. They don't want sitting around the crib right now trying to figure out the next big thing. They don't want sitting around watching YouTube videos trying to find the next business that they can try to figure out how to come up with the money to get into so that they can make money and not have to work. So let them continue to tweak. Let them tweak out. The people that's selling you all the bullshit, you know what they doing? They in a box truck. They just like you. If they had all the information, they would have got in the business, ran up their bag, and would be out doing things other than that. How can somebody in their 20s or their early 30s, they're still trying to figure things out, they're still trying to grow, sell you anything that you would consider what's best for you? If you ultimately want to make money easy, wouldn't it be best to listen to someone that's made the money and transition into ways of making easier money? Make it make sense. So when I say common sense ain't common, Mark, why you get out the box truck business in 2022? Yeah, remember people used to say that shit, man, clearly. Here we are 2 years later. Damn, he was right again. Fear and greed. Remember, y'all was greedy Thought this was the opportunity of a lifetime because man told you it would be. But I said, nope, too many people greedy. It's time to take advantage and go ahead and move on. Sold my trucks to a bunch of goofies like the goofies that's in here complaining right now. You bought a $12,000 box truck for $50,000. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Y'all bought 12, 13, 14, $15,000 box trucks for $50,000. Listen, I appreciate you. Thank you. And now you sitting out here tweaking mad because I'm telling you the truth because somebody else sold you a fucking dream. Go tweak with them. Fear and greed. When people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. Last night, people was fearful. I got off the live stream and turned greedy than a motherfucker. And here we are, less than 24 hours later. I'm getting even. It all paid off. You know why I didn't get fearful last night? Because I'm in the position where I need to be. I've seen situations like this happen before. So I make sure I got dry powder for when we have black swan events. And I know people are going to get fearful and do what's not best for them. And I'm going to be there with the dry powder to suck all that shit up because it's going to turn right back around. History repeats itself. History repeats itself. It has always repeated itself. It's a cycle. Follow the money. It's simple. The more I tell people follow the money, the more I see people run away from this shit. This shit is crazy to me. Everybody want to make money in the easiest way, and the only thing you got to do is follow the money, but you want to run away from the shit because you want to spend your time listening to people say shit that's not best for you instead of listening to the boring shit that you deem is boring from like the people in here that's talking shit, talking about the old motherfuckers, the old motherfucking boomers that are a lot of those guys that's billionaires today. They got the best knowledge, the best information for the most part. And if I'm not listening to that information, I'm following what they doing. I'm looking at Jamie Dimon sell shares of fucking JP Morgan, never sold shares in 20 years as he's been with the fucking company, CEO of JP Morgan. Why now? Doesn't that raise a red flag? I'm following the money. You follow money, don't follow trends. See, we got another tweaker in here. That's because you don't understand. It's over your head. That's why you don't think I'm saying nothing. Because it's over your head. The people that understand, understand. Some people ain't gonna understand because you ain't in this mind frame. You a consumer. So you got a consumer mindset. That's why you don't understand. But it's all good. Continue to have a consumer mindset. Keep having that mindset. I want you to. I want you to have that mindset. Hey, bro. Do you? All right, we're gonna move on. So, man, that's all I really came on here to talk about. You know, every time I challenge these young guys, they get upset. They get upset. I think I'm gonna challenge them a little bit more often. Shout out to all the MGMs. Shout out to everybody watching. I think we might do a call-in show this afternoon. I'm charged up now. Richard Rico, I'm starting my trucking business, waiting on my CA. I listened to your channel and previous streams on my route. Great content. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Reminds me of my little brother. I taught business with him, and he brings up college and gets salty with me. It goes right over his head. And this is another example why just business ain't for everybody. You have some people that get into business with the right mind frame and they do what they're supposed to do. And then you got into people who get into business with the wrong mindset. And they believe all these fallacies that they hear on the internet, you know? So, the best advice I can give to my generation: proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. Yeah, so this guy said something beneficial. Well, if you didn't catch none of the message, then it just shows where your mind is at, bro. That's all I can say. I ain't gonna say nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. If you didn't catch anything I said, then it just shows where your mental is at. So hopefully your mind frame changes, you know. But I appreciate you though. I appreciate you. 20 minutes without listening. All right, so check this out. We're gonna help you out then, big dog. He said he called me out. Get behind the screen and talk shit. I'm the person that always dropped the link. I wish I was on the regular version. I'd drop the link so you can come up. But I'm doing a live stream later in the regular format. Make sure you come back in. I'll drop the link and then we can chalk it up face to face. Because the thing is, you can see me. I can't see you, Charlie. But I'm known for dropping the link. I'm in Chicago. I'm out in the world. I'm not hiding. You can find me. I'm not in middle America no more. You know, well, never was in middle America, but not in middle America. So you can easily find me, you know. But I don't know who you are, so you call me out for what? Switching lanes. I'm not switching lanes. I'm still talking the same shit. And you are proving the point. I'm going to tweak with him for a minute before I get out of here. Hold on. I hope I didn't. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, damn, he gone. Somebody blocked him. Damn. I was finna tweak with him for a minute. Damn. I think one of the moderators got to him. I was finna tweak with him for a minute. See, a lot of these trolls, when you stream in this vertical format, it promotes it to people that's just swiping up, flicking the channels. This is why I don't do that. The regular format I do, it don't. It only sends it out to, you know, subscribers, and it promotes it, and it uses the hashtags for people that are looking for that type of content. This just puts it in regular, short, flick up, and it promotes it to a bunch of people that come on here just to troll or just looking for a confrontation, hoping somebody respond to their goofy ass. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I don't do this shit. So when I see these trolls that's hiding behind their little phone or their computer, I don't get upset, because, you know, these are the guys that are living in Wyoming. These are the guys that are living in Idaho. These are the guys that are living somewhere fucking in the middle of Kentucky, goddamn Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, fucking Maine. You know, these are the losers that, you know, live in towns with 10,000 people or less than 10,000 people. And this is the best interaction that they can get with real people. So They come on here and they get a chance to try to live out their fantasies from like movies they watch, like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, you know, and try to be tough, you know. And then they go to their fucking lame ass school in the middle of nowhere, and they try to steal our culture and talk like this. And I'm not speaking from a ethnicity standpoint. I'm speaking from an urban inner city. No matter what ethnicity you are, they try to, you know, steal our lingo and our culture, right? And then they come on here with a person who's really from that and try to challenge them, not knowing I get on that with your goofy ass. You could never come to where I'm from and think you're gonna outdo me in the environment and culture that I'm from, and come on my live stream and try to out talk me like you know what the fuck you talking about. Get your goofy ass on, boy, before I tweak with you early in the morning. See, you out trying to figure out where you gonna get it from. I'm getting it while I'm talking shit with your goofy ass. And I'm not even getting it from this platform. I'm just getting it. Check this out. Watch this. Check this out. Bloop. Hold on. I got you. I found Mark 4 days ago and listened to hours and hours of his videos, and all I can say is this dude is one of the real ones out here. Appreciate you. I don't know, Jordan, I don't get what you're saying, but I wasn't talking to you. Oh, well, unless you're talking to somebody else, I don't know. Yeah, you talking to somebody else. It's all good. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I wanted to come on. I just wanted to come over here and talk to the youngins for a second. I knew it was going to be some tweakers on here, so I said, all right, I feel like tweaking out this morning. I'll tweak with these trolls for a minute because they're going to start coming when I start talking about the message. We got a members only coming up. You know, we got the having later on this evening, going into tomorrow morning. And I think I am going to do the call-in show. We're just going to start it early. So it may not turn out like it normally turns out when I do it in the evening on Friday, but I got some shit I got to do later on tonight. So we'll do it early. Hopefully, moving the time up, we get some people to call in. If we don't, then I'll probably sit on there for about 30, maybe 45 minutes. If we don't get anybody to call in, then we'll just try it again next week. Appreciate that super chat, Dory. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Not a trucker, but listening to your delayed gratification. I sold my finance car and bought one straight cash. Appreciate your advice. Appreciate you, Drew's World. See, so to all y'all tweakers that come over here that's listening to this live stream, go back and watch some of the other content I put out. I got content that I help people make the right decisions, all right? And it's all based on my experience, all right? So don't come on here tweaking with me because I'll tweak back with your ass, all right? You catch me on one of these days where I tweak back with your ass, I'll tweak back. I'm not the type of guy that's going to just straight, I'll tweak back with your ass in a minute. For real. All right? And I'll find your punk ass too. We already done caught some trolls and put them on blast. All right? So keep tweaking with your goofy ass. Mark, I don't see why you going back and forth with folks. Well, this morning I'm just tweaking. I'm picking certain people I'm going back and forth with. We can tweak with some people. It's okay. We'll tweak with a few people. Some people we won't tweak with. I like tweaking with the middle Americans. I like tweaking with some of these middle Americans. All right, so boom. Let me like this real quick. Boom. I guess I'll take a question or two and then I'm gonna get out of here so I can take care of some other business before I hop back on that call in. Questions, comments, concerns? Hey, no generations. You got a question for me? Hey, Mark, what do you think? I'm 26. You know, what do you think I should do going forward? This is what I want to do. You got any ideas of how should I go about it? Like nothing? I'm in Illinois. You said, please make a Middle America shirt so I can buy one. You know, Axel was like, man, Mark, you got all these subscribers. Axel be on me all the time. Why don't you monetize? Why do you keep playing this music? What's the sense of going live if you can't monetize it? You're playing the commercial music. Why don't you sell some t-shirts, get a Teespring? Look what I did. Man, I don't got time for all that goofy ass shit. I'm not here to fucking make money. I'm here. I keep telling you, I've been telling y'all for the past 2 years, I'm here to serve a purpose. I'm here to help people that need help. Like, listen, when you see success in something, you have to give back some type of way. That's how God continues to bless you, right? There's a lot of people that like me, and there's a lot of people that don't, right? But at the end of the day, if you find value in the information, consume it. If you don't. You got to give back for something that has done good for you. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's just the way things are. You know, my mother gives back. I see her give back all the time, and she's retired. You know, and the blessings keep coming. Like, I don't understand why people have an issue with people doing the right thing. I was tired as hell last night. Anybody that watches me, you can tell when I'm tired. People that watch me, you know when I'm tired, you know when I'm not tired. You saw me sitting up here last night with a 0 sugar Pepsi because, man, Mark, I never seen Mark drink a pop. Yeah, 0 sugar, but I needed that caffeine because I was tired. But yet and still, I do a Thursday live stream. And even though I didn't want to do it, and I said earlier this week that I wasn't going to do no live streams, I said, man, people be looking for them Thursday night live streams. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, tired or not. And sometimes when I'm tired, I'll be tweaking out, and I feel like sometimes it don't go. But last night, it started out slow. But once that caffeine kicked in and I started cooking, then it was good. You know, so it's just my way of giving back. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in order for the box truck, I guess, culture to move forward, you need people that have the information and the knowledge to give it. Not everybody has money to buy, and then a lot of people that's selling the information really ain't got the information to be selling. They don't have the experience. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta have leaders in the space that's standing up and they doing, you know, what's right for the people that's coming up under them. And that's just what it is. You know, some people like it, some people don't. I really don't give a fuck. Nah, man, they ain't gonna never stress me out. Because the people that dim the lights, what? See, man, I don't like these vertical live streams. See, you gonna catch me do these every blue moon. Oh, people be tweaking on here, bro. A few guys that, like a lot of people caught feelings like when I just said, you know, skip it, man. We just gonna have basic conversations, general conversation. We're gonna keep it all the way a buck. Why? Because I saw I could identify. Here's the thing. when you look at the box truck space, certain people can identify with certain people. All right. You got some people that identify with this person for whatever reason. You got some people that identify with X person for some whatever reason. You got people that identify with this person, this person, this person. Not to say that each individual has the best or the worst content, has the right information, or misinforming people. Some people just don't want harsh reality. Some people rather be sold a dream. Some people rather the harsh reality. Some people ain't soft. Some people come up in a certain type of environment and they're used to straightforwardness. If you're not a person who likes straightforwardness and you want to be sold a dream and you don't like the truth and you want to hear that it's going to be sunny every day and that the lilies and the roses are going to be perfect and the wind is not going to be too strong, it's just going to be a light mild wind and the weather is going to be clean and crisp every single day, and you're not going to be faced with any challenges in life, and just everything is going to be hunky-dory, then I'm not the channel for you. If you want things cut and dry, you like the harsh reality with a bit of humor, you want the realness so that you can take it and consume it, formulate your own opinion. And if you consume it and you take that for what it is, I've deemed myself credible. And you say, I'm gonna consume the good and the bad. And the good is good. Good is good. But a lot of the pessimistic stuff, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna keep it in my back pocket. Because if I'm faced with this challenge in the future in my trucking career, listening to him that's already went through it and got out of it, I'm gonna take the information he gave. So when I'm met with that challenge, I know how to maneuver through it and maneuver around it. That's it. So some people gonna consume information from people they want to consume it from. It is what it is. We also need your meal plan, workout plan, because you're the same age as my mom, but you look 20. Meal plan, I'm a vegetarian, but I just became vegetarian in January. So as far as workout plan, Monday I do legs, Tuesday I do chest, Wednesday I do back, Thursday is like all around, but I spend an hour on abs. Friday, I hit chest again, but I probably don't go to the gym tomorrow. Today I probably make up for it tomorrow. Sunday I usually take off. And then I do push-ups in the crib. I do maybe like 100 push-ups. I don't really deal with a lot of stress. I learned years ago that things that are beyond your control, not to worry about them. Don't let the shit stress you out. Even during my peak in trucking, when I was faced with a lot of different challenges and obstacles, having to deal with so many people, so many trucks, 3 phones, uh, management staff, everybody's coming to me for answers. I learned that, I couldn't even let that get to me, because when you're in a position like that and you're at scale and you're at peak, that work is going with you, right? Hold on, we gotta get rid of somebody. Boom. 1 second. Hold on, we see something we gotta get rid of. See how people be coming in and they come in the middle of the live and get to saying shit that's way off topic. But anyway, we talking about, I'm answering the question. A lot of stuff you can't let worry you. And I think that's a big part of staying youthful. I think a lot of people, when they worry about certain things and they put a lot of unnecessary stress on themselves, instead of just letting go and letting God, you know what I'm saying? I think that wears people down and ages people as well. You dig what I'm saying? So I tend not to let things stress me out for the most part. Now, this guy that said, well, the trucking market is down. Like, we're not even talking about the market. And the trucking market is down to a person who got in the trucking market during an inflated bubble of the economy. If you got into trucking during the pandemic, you bought into a bubble. And if you bought into a bubble not knowing you was buying into a bubble, then that's on you. That's the shit that I be talking about. You bought into a business that you didn't understand. Don't invest into something that you don't understand. Who says the market is down? It's down for some. Some people out here still making money and surviving. You got to understand, you invest into an industry, especially OTR, that's based off a load board, a market. You got to understand there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. So when you're entering, you have to make sure you enter understanding that, yo, there may be a time where the market goes down. I have to make sure that my cost of entry and my cost per mile can fluctuate in the economy. When the economy is booming, I'm going to be good, but when the economy goes down, I'm my cost to operate will still be good, that I'll still be able to profit. I may not be able to profit as much when the economy is up, but I ain't going to be operating in the red either. That's why I always say, don't invest into something that you don't understand. When I was telling people this, when I was coming in towards the end, right when shit started to go down, people didn't take to that information. Well, here's the thing. If your cost if your cost is more than what the average rate are, then yeah, that'll probably be the best thing for you, or figure out a way to cut your costs down so that you can compete. You know, like somebody asked me last night, Mark, should I buy a new truck? No. Why would you buy a new truck? I understand the benefits of a new truck, but buying a new truck where things are right now, it's going to be harder for you to compete because you're going to have a higher cost of entry. You're going to be competing against someone who's been doing this 15 years and truck has been paid for, insurance is low and shit like that. So what you're thinking this person is taking is cheap freight really isn't cheap. It's cheap to you, but it ain't cheap to them. It's competitive as a market. That's why I don't like when people say, oh, stop taking cheap freight. It don't make sense. The more competition, the lower the rates. It's simple supply and demand. More competition, lower rates. If I was looking at this industry and I understood business, I understood what I was investing in, coming in during the pandemic to a lot of people was probably the worst thing they could have ever did. They understand that now. The more competition drives down rates. Supply and demand is not cheap or cheap. If you got plenty of room to accept cheaper freight but still run on a profit, that person is going to take cheaper rates and run a profit because he's competing against a person who entered with a higher cost of entry that can't take that. So that person who has a cheaper cost of operation is going to take those loads at a cheaper rate, which is going to leave the person who bought in not fully understanding what they were investing into high and dry. And I'm not speaking to you in specific. We're just on the topic, so I'm just cooking. It's business. It's not personal. And that's why when I be talking aggressive, it's for situations like this. A lot of people think it's just cut and dry. Oh, I get a box truck I get my authority, I get my insurance, I hire a driver, I get on the load board and I find loads. And what happens is when they get out here and they acquire all the things and they get out here and they go on the load board, they see it's not that simple. No one talks about the competition. Is it okay to rent when you're beginning? Depends on your rental rate. It also depends on what lane that you're in. Some lanes, you know, you're okay. So if you're running OTR, you're burning miles, right? You're paying for the miles. You're burning miles. You're spending a lot more money in fuel. Plus you're paying a weekly rate. It's going to cost you a lot more in a rental truck to run over the road versus if you rented a box truck, let's say to start a moving company. You're not really burning that many miles. The truck goes to a location, it sits there for 5 or 6 hours while you load. It may drive another 5 to 10 miles and sit there another 4 hours while you unload. So, and then you're making a shit ton more money than running over the road. In that situation, paying renting a truck for that line of work that requires a box truck is different from running OTR. Your costs are going to be more exorbitant, right? So it all depends. Now, if you just absolutely have no choice and you want to do this and you've done all the research and you feel confident that this is what you want to do, then you have to make the decision. Okay, if I'm going to rent a box truck, now I got to do some negotiation. Just because Enterprise is offering me a box truck at said amount doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be profitable for me to rent that truck at that said amount. Yeah, I could have all the excitement and I'm eager to get in, but if I can't get a cost that's going to allow me to operate profitably, then I'm going to have to turn it away. What happens is a lot of people, they just still rent it thinking that it's going to all work out, and then when they get on the road, listen, that 29 cent a mile that some of these guys is telling me they're paying, that shit add up. That shit add up. Your weekly cost at 29 cent a mile, if you really running, you pumping fuel, all that shit. Then Penske, they charging you for a week, then they placing a hold on another week. So now you got a lot of working capital that you really need to have in your bank account. Penske got it tied up, man. Penske had 2 weeks hold tied up, charging you. Like, Penske is probably one of the, as far as they billing structure, they're probably one of the worst companies to rent a truck from as far as they billing is concerned. They're just all over the place. They'll just have a bunch of your working capital tied up. So in some situations it is, in some situations it's not. It all depends on what lane you're in, your negotiation skills, and understanding what you should accept versus what you shouldn't accept. So Enterprise is also pretty bad. You know what? When we needed extra trucks from time to time, and we have to, go out and rent trucks to add to the fleet, obviously for busy season like summer and whatnot, Enterprise was always easy to work with in comparison to Penske. Enterprise, and this is, back in the day, I don't know what, their protocol is now, but back in the day, Enterprise would only charge you for the week in advance. So we were renting 26-foot box trucks back then for $450 a week, 12 cents a mile, right? So they would give you 1,000 miles free, right? So they would just swipe the business card for $450 for the following week, and then your rep would call you the following Friday, say, hey, what's the miles? All right, so you didn't go over the miles, you within 1,000 miles, let's say. So, all right, can we run your car for $450 for the following week? Go ahead. It was simple as that. Whereas Penske, they're going to charge you and then they're going to place a hold. And then the rep, if he forgets, you might see with Penske, you may go 2 weeks without getting any charge. And this is where a lot of people I see that rent from Penske mess up. Because when I used to deal with Penske back in the day, they would do this. The rep has to go through and place the hold and do the charge, whoever your account rep is. And some weeks they would miss. So you would go 2 weeks without a charge. You think you got by scot-free. No, they're just going to double back on you on the next week. So if you weren't a smart businessman and you didn't keep that money to the side, let's say your cash flow was low for whatever reason, and you didn't keep that money to the side, think you got over, thinking they tweaking, and you went and spent that money. When they came back 2 weeks later, they finna charge you for that next week. Plus, they finna charge you for The previous week that hold fell off, that they didn't come back and take that money, plus the hold for the following week. So now you may look at 3 charges on your car. And I see that happen with a lot of people that rent from Penske. And that's why I said they're just not competent when it comes to their charges. They Enterprise, and I don't know now, but back then they would just charge you for 1 week in advance. The rep would call you, yo, can we charge you? You good? What's the miles? All right, you went 100 miles over at 12 cents a mile. All right, $12. All right, plus the $4.50. We can run the car. All right, bet. No holes, no nothing. What has happened is we're just in a new generation of trucking. It's popular now. There's more people, obviously, more people. With more people get into an industry, it changes the landscape of the industry. You got a lot of people that come in that aren't business minded, right? They take advantage of those situations. So during the pandemic, when box trucking got popular and a lot of people were coming in with the rental truck, you had a bunch of people who were coming in looking at this as a hustle that didn't have a business mind. And when shit started to really hit the fan, when the market started to turn around and these rental truck companies went to go take those charges, that money wasn't there. It was getting a lot of declines, right? That's why these rental truck companies started to change their protocol. That's when they started the whole down payment. It wasn't no down payment 10 years ago. Wasn't no down payment 5 or 6 years ago. This is all new stuff because a lot of bad actors came into the business and they made it bad for a lot of people that were already in the business doing the right thing, or a lot of people that are getting in now that want to do the right thing, that are faced with these protocols that really are new, 2 or 3 years old, based on a lot of the decisions and just a lot of the mismanagement, that a lot of people that entered the space during the pandemic created. These companies, they have their best interest in mind first, and it's to make money. So now we got to make sure that, you got enough money, right? And we're holding enough money so that if we do hit your card and it ain't no money there, we got some type of holding that, we can make up for those lost weeks while we send somebody out to go look for that truck to repo it from your goofy ass. I'm going to breast all soon. All the box truck out there are going to go down because it's already went down. We were looking at a box truck on the stream last night, brand new for $60,000. That same box truck two and a half years ago was $120,000. It's just like supply and demand in the trucking industry as far as the freight goes. Supply and demand for trucks as well, cars as well. If the supply is low, right, because they weren't manufacturing a lot of new trucks during the pandemic because the plants were shut down, a lot of people weren't working, they didn't have the labor force to even build at the rate that they were building at prior to the pandemic. It made the market, the used vehicle market, go up. Why? Because the supply was low, but the demand was high because so many people were getting in. So the rates went up. Now that that demand is low, because nobody has the money anymore, the popularity isn't there, volume is down because of the economy and inflation, and people aren't spending the money on things that a lot of truckers need them to spend it on. They're rather taking that excess money that they're getting and spending on frivolous things like dinners, trips, and experience-based services. That demand being down, the rates come down. Same thing in the trucking market as far as the load board. Supply and demand. So trucks are a lot cheaper now. To be honest with you, I think it would be easier and better if you had to do a compare and contrast of a person entering into the market today versus the person entering into the market in 2021, it would be better for a person to enter into the market in this economy than that economy. Because entering in that economy, any way, shape, form, or fashion that you enter, you are going to enter at an exorbitant cost. You're entering now at a lesser cost, right? So your operational expenses are lower. And if you understand the industry and you know how to compete, you're going to win. Because at the end of the day, the market is either going to stay the same. We've already seen the bottom. The market is either going to stay the same or it may get a little bit better. All right. So if it gets better, that's a win. If you can operate and win in the current market, it's a win too. As long as you're making money, it's a win. But like I said, a lot of people didn't understand what they were investing in because they were following trends. They didn't understand business. So then when you get in and you compete and you understand you're competing, there's a lot of competition. You compete against people that are, ignorant. And when I say ignorant, it's not a bad thing. Ignorance just means lack of knowing, ignorant on the space, right? And then you're competing against people who are business savvy. It's only one direction that your business is going to go in. You already entered an exorbitant cost. Once that bubble burst and things start to retrace, you're still stuck with that exorbitant cost. Yeah, you were making money entering at that exorbitant cost because rates were high, because supply was coming in to meet the demand. People had money. So volume increased. So you didn't really understand that you entered at an exorbitant cost because everything was panning out because rates were high. But what you got to understand, and what a lot of people didn't understand, that cost that you entered in, you're going to stay with that. If you bought a fucking $20,000 truck for fucking 80,000, guess what? You're still paying a note on 80,000. So when the market starts to correct itself and come down and rates start come down, you still got an overabundance in supply in the market, which is truckload space. So volume's coming down. Now it's making this oversupply of truckload space, and all these truckers have to compete harder. And the more they compete, it's further driving the rates down. And it's as simple as that. So, and to be honest with you, from what I see, just my educated hypothesis, my educated opinion, I've been saying it since last year. Get accustomed to the way things are. Freight Waves told you second quarter of 2023. I was still saying get accustomed to the way things are. Freight Waves was wrong. I was right. I'm still saying get accustomed to the way things are. Jay Powell said, yo, people still spending. We can't soften the economy. So it's less people buying consumer goods and spending money on services. Why are they spending money on services, Mark? Because they want to do things that are fun to take their mind off how broke they are. There are some consumer goods that are up, but if you look at the consumer goods that are up, they're in categories that support experience-based services. So that goes back to, I'm saying, following the money. Like Timothy said, he's spending his money on groceries. Nothing's left after that. So when you got everything up because of inflation, a typical trip to the grocery store now is not like a trip to the grocery store 5 years ago. So where a person may have had excess money going to the grocery store, and while they're in Walmart buying grocery and they walk through the electronics aisle, they may buy a sound bar or they might buy a Bluetooth speaker, right? And that Walmart may say X amount of Bluetooth speakers every single day, coupled along with every single Walmart across the country. That's pallets and pallets and pallets of Bluetooth speakers. But that person that's going into Walmart today buying groceries, and then they walk past the electronics aisle and they see that Bluetooth or that sound bar that they really want, they can't afford to throw that in the cart anymore because that excess money that they would have had 4 or 5 years ago, they don't have it now. So that's less freight to move. But there's still an overabundance of supply in the market from the pandemic. And believe it or not, there's still people coming into the market. There's still people coming into the market. We just went through tax season. A lot of people, baby mamas got their taxes, and they gave man they tax money to start their little cargo van or their box truck business. I mean, y'all watch the call-in show. So you still competing with people that came in then, and when if you look at the chart of the amount of new authorities from 2021, 2020, let's say 2020, 2021, 2022, in comparison to years prior, you're gonna see that chart go from here to way up here out of frame. That's how many people came in. And a lot of people have failed. There's people that still continue to fail, which is softening that supply. But believe it or not, there's still a lot of people in. This is the type of information that you need to consume getting into business, or in this business specifically. And I'm giving it to you for free. When you look at this shit from a different angle, a different lens, and you look at it from the lens that you're supposed to look at it from, shit makes sense. If you have capital to start a trucking company, is it smart to get one truck or five? One. Just because you have the capital don't means you have the know-how. So if you come in with one truck or you come in with 5 trucks, if you don't understand what you're doing, you gotta learn it, right? The learning curve is cheaper when 1 truck versus 5. If you don't learn the business with 1 truck, it's only gonna cost you 1 truck. If you come in with 5 trucks, you're gonna fail harder. That learning curve is gonna cost you a lot more. You're just amplifying the cost of the learn curve times 5. I'd rather pay the cost of the learning curve for 1 truck, and then once I achieve success or I gain experience off 1 truck, then I can duplicate that success 4 more times versus spending the cost of understanding and learning the business times 5. So I'd rather delay that gratification because you're gonna make mistakes at the beginning. So come in, learn the business with 1 truck, and then as you learn the business and you start to become profitable, then start duplicating that success 1 truck at a time. Is it business wise to hire a driver as an owner operator? If you're hiring a driver as an owner operator, that don't even make sense. An owner operator is his own owner operator. If you hire a driver, he's an employee. He's not an owner operator. I need you to run my business. I got 140 for you right now. I can send you a check. Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Ryder says, man, you should become an economist. Spot on assessments. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. So shout out to everybody that came in that actually gained some value from this live stream. Shout out to all the tweakers too, who came in because they don't like the way I'm giving it up. But if you shut the hell up and stop tweaking and listen, you may learn something so that you don't have to continue to be a victim out here, getting victimized like a goofy. And you can take good, valuable information and apply it so that one day your dreams that you so thirstfully want as far as generational wealth and streams of revenue, you can actually get there because you're taking the right information and you're applying it. You're going to go in your box truck, you're going to shut your ass up, you're going to stop tweaking. Let me tell you what you need to do for the tweakers out there. Shut your goofy ass up, take this information, go out and apply it, work hard. Stop listening to these people saying that you don't got to work. You got to work. In order for you to learn the business, you got to first work in the business so that you can be able to, even if you scale, train your employees on what you need them to do versus what you don't want them to do, right? In order for you to train somebody, don't you need experience doing it? So you need to go out here and work. All right. In order for you to build your business, it's just not going to build itself. Guess what? You're going to have to do the work to build it. Guess what? If you sitting on YouTube talking about starting a box truck business, that means you don't have the capital to pay someone who does know the business to build it for you. You don't have the capital to operate at a loss for 5 to 10 years. The only way you're going to start a business without knowing what the hell you're doing is if you have the capital to start a business and pay management, pay people that are smarter than you in that industry to build a business for you. And those type of people don't come cheap. You have to pay those people handsomely. And then you have to have the understanding that you're starting this business in the position where you're going to be operating at a loss for 5, 10 years maybe, like how the big companies do it. But if you don't have that type of capital, guess what? You got to get your goofy ass out here and do the work yourself. You have to work extremely hard. Starting a business is harder than working a job. Stop tweaking and letting people tell you, oh man, starting a business is easier, man. You do nothing all day. No, starting a business is harder than work. When you go to work, you punch your ass in, you can punch your ass out. When you punch your ass out, you don't have to worry about that business until you punch your ass back in again. When you got a business, you're constantly on the clock because you got to build that business. So work extremely hard. When you start to see success from that business, start taking the success and duplicating. You're making money, you're profitable in one truck, you practicing delayed gratification, your business has a decent amount of cash flow. Now that truck can acquire a second truck. You going back in your pocket, you're doing something wrong. If your business can't go out and acquire additional assets for you to make more money, you're doing something wrong. But Mark, how can you get a loan from the bank? No, you can't. Bank ain't gonna look. Bank don't want to touch you. Bank ain't gonna touch you till you've been in business 2 to 3 years, depending on the bank. And guess what? Even when you've been in business 2 to 3 years, they still not gonna give you shit. That's why you gotta work hard, so that you have enough cash flow, and you gotta delay gratification, so that you have enough cash flow that the business can build within itself. The purpose of listen, the only thing a business cares about is making money. A business don't got feelings. It ain't got none of that shit. It don't care about your family. It don't care about none of that shit. The business has a mind of its own, and the only thing the business is focused on is getting money. The business rewards you for steering it in the right direction. Business is like a kid. You have a kid, you raise the kid, you instill morals and values in the kid so that one day the kid will get out in the world and be able to sustain on its own. You start a business, it's like birthing a child. You build a business up. You parallel that with raising a child, educating a child, instilling morals and values. Hold on, let's see something, Charlie. Instilling morals and values in the business, right? And then ultimately, just like a child, once the business matures enough, it sustains on its own. And just like your child, when your ass get old and you can't wipe your ass and shit like that no more, your child circles back around and takes care of you. Once you raise that and you groom that business and you steer it on the path to success where it sustains on its own, it rewards you with a handsome paycheck. What your business is paying you, if you are paying yourself at the beginning, is not what you're going to be paying yourself as the business matures and grows and makes more money. You're going to see your personal earnings that the business is paying you grow with the business. The business is circling back around and rewarding you for the time, the energy, the effort that you instilled into it. And once your business reaches a certain level of success, after you've duplicated it, right? 1 truck to 2, 2 trucks to 3, 3 trucks to 4, so on and so forth. Or even if you're in a cargo van, same thing. Now we can have this generational wealth conversation. Now you can take that money, those profits. Hold on, bro. Now you can take those profits and Man, here they come, Joe. Here they come. Hey, moderators, let's stand on it. Now you can take that money and start to look into multiple streams of revenue, not income, but revenue, right? You're a business person. Multiple streams of revenue. All right. Your business can acquire other businesses. Your business can build a portfolio. You don't have to build a personal portfolio. You could also be, man, this shit is crazy. Your business can also build a portfolio for the business. So you can have a personal portfolio and you can have a business portfolio, right? So, and that's one lane you can build additional revenue. Your business can acquire real estate. Your business can acquire other businesses in different forms of fashion. They could be brick and mortar businesses. They could be paper asset businesses, right? And then that's how you acquire generational wealth, multiple streams of revenue, all right? And then you just keep duplicating this shit. Then that's how you can find yourself removing yourself from the day-to-day. If you want to take something like that box truck business where you're dealing with people on a consistent basis, and you say, hey, you know what? I've created forms of revenue that don't require people. It doesn't require employees. This is just money that's making itself from me putting money into these things, and that money is just making money. Your money is working for you now versus you working for money, right? It's just like I talk on my live streams. Once you understand business and you learn business, you can get away from the rat race within your own business and stop working for money and just let your money work for you. You invest into things where your money is going out doing the work. Each dollar is like a soldier. I say you send those soldiers out into the world, and their sole objective is just to recruit more soldiers, right? And then when they recruit those soldiers, they bring them back to you, and the only thing you do is just push them back out into the world again, right? This is how you sit back and you make money, all right? Active income, taking active income and investing into things that will give you passive income to the point where your passive income will be able to fund your lifestyle. And then if you want to get rid of from the day-to-day of an active income where you're faced with being present and the challenges of dealing with people and, let's say, trucks and things like that, then you can remove yourself from that, whether you're selling off the assets or you're selling the business, or you're just walking away completely because you have enough soldiers in the form of dollars working for you that's making you money every single day. So, all right. Hey, Westside, I don't listen to them. Them just trolls, man. When you do these vertical live streams, they push it out, and you got people that's trolling. I ain't never seen none of these people. So they tweaking. We just blocking them. I don't even know what they talking about. I don't do mentorship, only coaching, free bands. So only coaching, no mentorship. All right. So on that note, hopefully you found some value in it. Don't expect for me to do one of these vertical live streams again, because the way they pump it to a bunch of people that's not even interested in this content, that's trolling. And I don't got time for that shit. Somebody sent a super chat. Hold on, let me see. You giving game. Appreciate that super chat, Westside Mob. Appreciate you. All right, so yeah, we'll probably do a call-in show in a couple of hours. I think Juan's supposed to be calling back with his boss. So we'll see how that go. We're gonna do it earlier today, so it may turn out, maybe it may not turn out the normal way it does on Friday, because I usually do it later, but I got some stuff to do later, so we're gonna do it early, probably about another hour. So if people call up, we'll rock with it. I'll give it like 30, 45 minutes. If don't nobody don't, then we'll end it and we'll try it again next week at the normal time. All right, and to all y'all tweakers, do me a favor. Go get you some money and stop being a goofy. I just had to create my channel to comment. I'm just learning the business going into box trucking on a startup business. All right, cool. Just make sure you consume all content. Just use common sense. Take the information in, consume it, formulate your own opinion based off common sense, right? Make sure you fully understand what you're investing in before you get into it. So just have a full understanding. I think one of the for sure ways to somewhat guarantee success is just having a full understanding of what you're investing into before you get into it. All right, if you take the time to apply yourself to gather the knowledge, entering into anything you do, it gives you a better opportunity at success. But if you just following a trend and you throwing your hat into the pot, not fully understanding what you're getting into, and then you get into it, and then you find out it's very, very ruthless and very, very competitive, that's when you're gonna get that slap in the face. But by then it's gonna be too late. You see what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But let me get up off this thing. We'll probably do the call-in show in about an hour. So,